Hey everybody, I'm gonna try to not make this be all the nights. It's just, things are winding down and I just want to make things while I can because pretty soon it's gonna be back in school times and I'm not gonna be able to make as many things. And so, I just wanted to make things, but I also, whatever, man, you'll see. Here, let's just, oh, by the way, infinite regression. You are sad. Boo ba doo ba doo. Actually, this is helping me cope mental health wise tonight. So, whatever. Just fucking go with it, man. This is weekend type affirmations. Volume, let go of your need to number things, man. Come on. Hey, we don't even need to go around the horn and talk about room full of white people. I mean, Braxton, he's not even here, man. He didn't even come in. Ian's not sitting over here fucking things up, putting ads, inside hobos' assholes or some shit, doing a terrible job. Chaz is probably off, fucking barely old enough to fucking do anything girl that used to be his daughter's best friend. That's fucking, it's just gross. Yeah. Oh, Clarissa's still here. She's okay. Well, I have to make sure she gets home, I suppose. Anyway, Kaysen isn't fucking here. He's not, grabbing it, groping and things. Made him use the oven mitts last week. He's not here, and Aiden, and neither Aiden nor his douche canoe parents are here. So that's the fastest I ever did that shit. Right? Talked about the white people. They're not fucking here, man. Listen, hey, white people, everybody clap. You hear that? Fucking no one. It's just me. Anyway, that just shows you. Okay, so I don't even need, this isn't an official one, so, we don't even need Stanley. I mean, because it's not official, I could probably talk shit about him, but I'm not going to because I already been sued and I'm done with that shit. It's not a storyline I wish to recreate. People didn't care about it at the time. They didn't fucking, there was no oh, I wonder who the new voice is going to be fucking nonsense. We didn't drive that storyline very much. Not that this show should even fucking have storylines, man. Whatever. Let's just get a fucking move on. Wasted another goddamn minute talking about the shit we didn't do. Okay. With your host, the remnants of Rem, the Pemberton of Clemson. I look holy as shit in this. I look like I'm about to baptize a motherfucker straight to heaven in this. Anyway, come thou, Rem, do what the Holy Spirit moves you to do. Yeah, that's to play the worst one.
This is the theme song, the very theme song, and another freaking theme song in the show.
Man.
Cha.
Oh, I fucked it up, man. I fucked it up. Forgot about the cha. God damn it. I've only done that a couple of times. Does not bode well for the show, but who gives a fuck, man? That's not what we're here to do. That's not what this show's about. Let me tell you what this show's about. This episode is all about redemption. But it's mostly about doing this thing the way that I originally intended to do it, which is to say that I originally found my own thoughts funny when I was high, and I wanted to chronicle them, but then it got out of hand because I went and overdid it like I do with every fucking thing, and I made this show with all these fucking white people. I put too much pressure and too many expectations upon myself, which I always fucking do. I just can't leave well enough alone, man. And that's the opposite. When you get high, you're supposed to just be like, I'm having fun, you know. I'm happy, feeling good, you know. And I mean, granted, I enjoy working, you know, I enjoy feeling like I'm engaging in a creative endeavor when I'm high. Like, that's totally fine. I don't feel like I'm wasting my high time if I'm writing, but I feel like I'm wasting it if I'm like pushing too hard with a results oriented approach. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about the fucking result, man. It's about like having the space and the ability to do what you want to fucking do. Like, the world is your goddamn oyster. You're going to crack that shit, look at it, and be like, I'd rather eat pussy. This, frankly, and it doesn't matter whose at this point. This is a nasty thing someone pulled out of the ocean. I ain't going to eat this fucking oyster. You fucking nuts. Oh my God. Ugh. Gross. Anyway. Yeah. So when the world is your oyster and you just trade it in for some pussy, I guess. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense. I don't like oysters or most seafood. I like fish just fine, depending on how it's prepared. But yeah, I do like fish. That much is true. There you go. No sea bugs, no slimy sea things, like just fish, pretty much, is the extent of my seafood eating. Anyway, that was the question. But you know what? This is it's fine. I talk about whatever I want, man. I got full creative ability. I don't have anyone telling me what to do in my little creative space, and that's the whole fucking point, man. So just let it be what it is, you know? So I guess what I'm saying is, let's have one fucking episode with no real structure or pressure on it whatsoever. I just put down whatever it is because it's fucking time for high thoughts. I wonder if I can make an effect in my microphone when I do that shit. Hold up. Nope. I'm not spending the amount of time that it would take to put fucking echo on that. That's ridiculous. You're just going to have to deal with high thoughts and put the fucking echo on it yourself, man. I think it'd take time to do it. Shit. Who you think this is? Some guy that does that kind of shit? Nope. Anyway, that's some fucking bullshit. I don't do that kind of shit. Whoa. Oh, just get a little bit of water in the old voice there. Anyway, it's probably best that we just move on and not worry about this, putting reverb on my voice thing or not. High thoughts. Anyway, whatever. So, we're just going to have some high thoughts, I guess. Things that I thought about when I was high. Okay. This is factually accurate. I looked into this just today. I think the 1992 Royal Rumble was rigged in Ric Flair's favor. Sure, everybody loves Nature Boy to some degree or another, but you can't tell me that match wasn't fishy as fuck. If you listen to the commentary, Gorilla Monsoon called a clean match, as per usual, or however you spell the abbreviation of usual. I got it. Thanks, person who wrote this. You did a great job. I read it just fine. But his partner in the booth, Bobby Heenan, showed clear favoritism toward Ric Flair despite his very early draw, 3 out of 30. At that time, no one with a draw of 5 or earlier had ever even been standing in the final 2. Yeah, that had never happened. And so, and they kept bringing that up all throughout, seems to think, like, Gorilla Monsoon kept bringing it up, and Bobby Heenan would be like, oh, shut up, you, I've got a lot of money riding on this. Yeah, because Heenan totally mentioned multiple times that he needed Ric Flair to win and that he, quote, would make a lot of money if Ric Flair won. Then, against all odds, and with the help of some hits on Flair that are clearly fake when you stitch together the fan footage of the event with the official footage, you can see some hits on Flair that are just like wild swipes that miss him completely. Completely. You know, you could see how from like one angle, sure, that might look like a hit, but from where the fans were sitting, no, it is a clear miss, and Ric Flair acting like he got hit, you know, to put on a good show, I guess. You know, how are we supposed to feel about that? Look, for years, Ric Flair was the symbol of Americanity. But what do we do now? Between Heenan's lopsided call and the opponent's reluctance to actually hit Flair, it's obvious that someone, definitely Heenan, but possibly Heenan working in cahoots with the Flair organization, paid off Flair's opponents in order to ensure his win. Whereas we have hitherto looked upon his victory as the highest point in American sport, now we see it as a blighted shame upon our erstwhile free nation. K. Slight jag. I am high as fuck right now, but I still be writing shit like, whereas we have hitherto looked upon his victory as the highest point in American sport, now we see it as a blighted shame upon our erstwhile free nation. Whose fucking vocabulary and sentence structure gets more complex when they're high than it does when they're sober? Oh, fucking English teachers, bitches. Oh, and we laugh when we find grammatical and spelling mistakes in your emails, bitches. Feel the burn of our superior smirks at our next faculty meeting, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's the real shit. Okay, so what to do with Ric Flair now? You make him return the belt and have his 1992 championship win scrubbed from his official record. He seemed pretty clean for the rest of his career, so he can keep all of his other achievements, accolades, and Hall of Fame status. As for Heenan, pictured to the left of Flair above, he should be banned from the sport beginning on or before his death in September 2017. Complications of throat cancer. He will have been missed by time of recording. If I were the scriptwriter on a porn set, this is high thought number 2. If I were the scriptwriter on a porn set, I would make the ladies call out some straight up goofy shit while being fucked. They'd be like, "Ooh, yeah, daddy. I want more allowance if you're gonna fuck me like this, daddy. Oh, my current allowance has not increased commensurate with inflation. And I'm sorry for anyone who has to fucking endure this. Oh, hey, is 420. That's fucked up. Nope, that doesn't need to be happening. Anyway, or how about this one? Ooh, oh, that feels so good. Oh, yeah, that right there. Oh, that feels amazing. I can't believe how incredible it feels to be playing the female boss in this scene, because the mainstreaming of the concept of female bosses means that there are little girls out there who will grow up to be actual female bosses and won't up selling their bodies in their 20s so they can spend their 30s regretting it. Ooh, oh, why is your dick getting all soft all of a sudden? Can we get another fluff on this guy? Get another fluff on this guy. That felt weird when I wrote it, because I don't know if that's what they say, but it feels like something that someone would say on a porn set. I've not spent time on a porn set. I have no idea. Like, I don't know pornography inside and out. That feels gross to even say. Anyway, moving on. Here we go. High thought number 2 continued. How about this one? Ooh, Oh my God. Oh, you hit that spot just right. Just like you were right on the money when you said Ric Flair's 1992 Royal Rumble win was suspicious. Oh my God, I've never felt your dick this hard before. You get extra hard when she's like, yeah, that wrestling conspiracy we talk about, I listened to you say that and you were right on the money. You'd be like, chewing, like you get hard as nails, man. Anyway, oh god damn it, why I have to have a really long one? I'm already uncomfortable with the short ones. What about like this? Okay. Ooh. Oh, yes. Oh, that feels just right. Like, you know how wrong it is from a linguistic point of view that the Temerians from the very popular and yes, I will even admit it, personally enjoyable episode Darmok would even have such a language, because if you have a language to describe past events, then you already have a language with which you can communicate any thought or concept you may wish to communicate to any other member of the race. Well, how wrong that premise is for an alien language, that's how right your dick feels in me right now. Oh, and this is officially the deepest dickening I've ever received. It's downright Dickensian. I don't know what a Dickensian dicking is. Were they extra good at dicking in Dickensian times? Because everybody was poor and downtrodden and whatnot. The dicking was extra good. Seems like it's a thing. That like when people are extra down on their luck, that like the dicking is extra good. You get that good dick from somebody who's riding high. They'll just be like, we're good. I got nothing to prove. Anyway, yeah, Dickensian, probably a thing. Anyway, hey, I need you to think about Darkwing Duck really hard right now. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Okay, now think about the Darkwing Duck NES game really hard right now. Do it. It's a pretty good platformer. It's got a lot in common with Bionic Commando, actually. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. Like, you remember, it's a good game. Okay. Now, think about what a bangin' chiptune title theme it has, to say nothing of its many bangin' stage themes. Y'all Toby Fox come latelys better recognize. This is fucking right. Like, there's some chiptune themes from back in the day. You know what? Do yourself a favor and listen to the theme from Air Fortress. It's a game that not a lot of people are into. It's pretty good. It's like, I don't know, like a 75 out of 100 kind of a game, like solid C on the paper, like you'll play it again, it's fine. It won't be anyone's like, oh my God, you have to play Air Fortress. But it's, it's a good game with a good premise and decent controls and all that. Anyway, but the fucking music is incredible. Like, it's got a really, really good soundtrack. Listen to it. So my kids be all fucking Toby Fox all the time. They're like, we love Toby Fox. We love the Undertale theme song. And then I'm like, you listen to some shit from back in the day, so you know where that shit comes from. And they're like, oh, this is banging. This is good. And I'm like, yeah, it is. This is from like 1983 and shit. So just fucking understand where this is from, man. Anyway, hey, speaking of music, now think about that NES DuckTales Moon Level theme and just weep silently to yourself. It's a beautiful fucking song. It's like goddamn gorgeous. And you can listen, they have like an orchestral version. Like Nintendo has an official orchestral version of it for the DuckTales remastered game, which I have. It's a fun game. I haven't reviewed it officially for the channel, but I own it on both the Wii U and I own it in Steam. Anyway, good game. Hey, yeah, but just let yourself cry, man. That moon theme is fucking good. Okay. High thought number 4. It is now 1:20 in the a.m. which means that it's 4:20 in Beijing, which means it's 4:20 here now. Was 4:20 in Beijing when I wrote this, which means I still haven't ever been high at 4:20 p.m. Like 4:20 a.m. That's the go to fucking bed, man. Like I should be in bed right now, but I wanted to record something because like I feel like my time is already spoken for and it's waning, man. My wife and I kind of talked about this. We both have the same anxieties. Hopefully she's very understanding. Anyway, but like 4:20 in the post meridian is like way too fucking early in the evening for me to early in the day, early afternoon for me to be high. I can't do it cuz I've found that like if I have any responsibility whatsoever, I cannot handle that shit. Like I can't fucking do it. I need to, if I'm high, I need no one to need anything from me at all. I just need to not be needed at fucking all, man. Like I just need you to just fucking leave me alone. Let me do my shit, or like maybe hang out with me, but like you're gonna have to put up with me just randomly saying weird shit because that's what I do. It's what I do. Anyway. Okay, but like, so yeah. One time early on in my experimenting with the marriage of Juanas and trying to figure out how to like do this in my life, like yeah, so my wife was like, she was leaving to go pick up dinner because we don't like to cook on Fridays because fuck it, man, we just made it through a goddamn week and it was probably a hard week, like lately, fuck, has been. So like yeah, on Fridays, you know, she go get some food, and you know, I would by that point be writing like hopefully the last slides on a show, and anyway, but this was this is before I even had a show. This is back when I first started, which was like 2 years ago. Anyway, yeah, I know. I started as an old duffer, man. I was like 40 years old. I was like, it's time for me to start hitting the dope chronic and getting in weirdly into jam bands and shit. You know, time for me to learn how to tie dye. All those three things happened in the same year. But like, number one, for the jam bands, I had always intended to get into fish and stuff, and I also found the jam band Goose, and I had saved their shit and was just like I had saved YouTube videos in my like music to get into after I finished my 10-year long music listening project. So I finished my 10-year long music listening project when I turned 40. And so, yeah, it was in the same year, but it wasn't because it was like, hey man, I'm getting the dope chronic, so I need to get on the jam bands, man. Like, no. Like, a girl introduced me to fish when I was in college, and I was like, that's cool. And she's like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to take in. And when I found out all about the, like, having to be into different shows and like know all the lore and stuff. And this is when the internet was not as well organized as it is now. I was like, well, fuck me. I don't have time. Like, I don't have time to like figure all this out, you know? And like now that I'm established in my life and things are going well, I actually had time to be like, okay, I finished my music listening project. I can actually get into jam bands if I want to. And I was like, well, let's give it a fucking go. And I really enjoyed it. And granted, that may have been aided by the, you know, chemical whatever's, but like, 99.9% of the jam rock that I've listened to in the last year was listened to stone cold sober. So, like, whatever, you know? It's not all about, like, no, I'm gonna fucking blaze up and put on some Goose, man. Which, by the way, Goose is great. They're doing awesome things all the time. They've got some great songs that I really enjoy, so they're really good. They're hitting their stride as a band like right now, which is cool to see. You know, it's kind of like what it would have been like to be there for Fish, you know, in '94 when they were like firing on all cylinders all of a sudden. Like, you know, they've been around a few years, but all of a sudden they're like, bam, here we are. This is what we do. Like the Grateful Dead, you know, Jerry's no longer with us, and we are poised to fill in that void, you know, like, man, to be on the scene back in those days, I theoretically could have. I have some friends who were, but like I was not there, you know, because I was raised too religious. I was too religiously raised to be into that kind of shit. And so, like, yeah, it took me a while to come around to it. So, it just so happened to coincide. And, like, same thing, tie-dye. I always wanted to know how to do it. And, like, you know, how it came about that I actually wanted to do it was because my daughter wanted more like rainbow stuff for LGBTQ stuff. And so like I wanted to be cool and be like, "Hey, we can make shit like tie-dye." You know, cuz I always wanted to do it in high school, but like no one could teach me how cuz I didn't know anybody who knew how. And you, like, in those days, internet, not what it is now, you had to know somebody. So yeah, like I had looked at black and white pictures in books from the library, but they were not very helpful. And so like, and I didn't have most of the resources. And so yeah, like the same year that I just happened to be like, well, let's do this, father and daughter, like just for fun, and like, you know, I'll go get the resources, we'll fucking do it, you know, like, yeah, happened the same year because that's when I had time to do it and decided to do it. But it had nothing. I wasn't like, hey man, I want to drag my daughter into my weird new thing that I'm doing, man, you know, with my weekends, man, you know, because like, yeah, I'm not even fucking, yeah, anyway, regardless. So, yeah, back to the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Look, here's the thing. So, I've found over time that I can't be trusted with any responsibility when I'm high. Like, none whatsoever. So there's this time when my wife leaves the house and she's like, can you clear off the table so that we can eat this food that I'm about to go get when I come back, right? And so so I'm like, oh God, I don't know. And I told her that. I was like, I don't know if I can. And then I proceeded to do it, but I was like so stressed the whole time, and I was worried that I was doing it wrong and that I was going to get in trouble when she got back, and that she'd be mad that I didn't do well enough at clearing the table. You know, it's sort of things you might call paranoia, for lack of a better term. Anyway, it was fine. It was fine. She came back. She was like, it's fine. And I was like, I was so worried, you know, had to tell her what was up, you know. So like, that's how we figured out, like, hey, this is only strictly for the times when you don't owe anything to anyone for any fucking reason. Like, you're a free agent. You do what you want to do. you know, and that is strictly when it's for. That's what we learned from that incident. Anyway, but like when I cleared that table, I would have absolutely given myself the Presidential Medal of Freedom if that fucking meant anything anymore. Thanks, Rush Limbaugh. Anyway, so yeah, fucking 420. 420 is like, I can't, like, at 420, we haven't even, like, it's not time to eat dinner yet, but we might start talk about dinner plans soon. And like part of those plans might be like, you need to run to the store and pick up some bread or some tomatoes or some, like, whatever, ingredients for the shit. And like, I'll fucking do that. It's not a problem. Like to help out. But like, if I am high at all, like, no, I can't fucking handle it. Like any responsibility, I'm like, fuck no. So like, you know who has no responsibility at 420? Fucking asshole kids. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, life is so stressful, man. So stressed out. Oh, had to go through a whole day of school, man. Now I have to go to the skate park and fucking unwind and shit. And it's like, oh, it's 420 and you can unwind right now? God damn, what is your life? Like fucking adults are like, well, I'm going to be high strung until you're in fucking bed. So, like, because I have shit that I'm responsible for until you're in bed. So, like, that's fucking up my whole schedule of, 420. It's not going to work for me. I got to have to do 420 at like 9:30. That's that's what it ends up being, you know. And here's the fucking thing, like, asshole kids, they've got no responsibilities after like 3:30, and so 4:20 is enough time for them to like go home, get their skateboard, whatever stash they fucking got, meet some friends at the flagpole or whatever the fuck, and like, smoke a bowl or whatever, and like, god damn it, like, you assholes, you think you're the ones who need it. Like, no. The old fucks who've gone a couple rounds against the relentlessness of life, who have the battle scars to fucking prove it, we need that shit. Oh, you skinned your knee while riding your little skateboard? Boo fucking who. Go do whippets at your older cousin's house. That's all you are entitled to, you inexperienced fuck. Some of us have mortgages on houses that we aren't sure are going to be worth what we paid for them in 10 fucking years, man. And that's to say nothing of our goddamn student loans. So the fuck do you need to forget? The fuck do you need a reprieve from? History class? No, fuck that. You remember that shit because you can win at trivia nights at bars with that shit. And, maybe get your dick wet. I mean, or your pussy eaten or whatever you got. Like, show up knowing all the answers. You fucking dealer's choice. Whatever you got genital wise, you get somebody up on that, Anyway, of your choosing, consensually and shit. Anyway, yeah, this is good fucking advice. Anyway, hey, I wasn't sad when Kobe died. This is high thought number 5. Get ready for fucking controversy. People gonna get pissed off and shit. But like, I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, I didn't wish him dead, and his death didn't make me happy like Manu Ginobili's will someday. But I did think about the close family and friends that he has who will miss him. And I tried to imagine what they must have felt like, when he died. But it didn't affect me personally at all. I fucking hated Kobe as a player. Oh, goddamn. And I thought he was selfish. I thought he was a toxic teammate, Shaq didn't leave because he was too fucking happy to play with Kobe. We all know it is fucking true. You know, like Shaq left because Kobe was selfish and wasn't a good teammate and was fucking toxic. Like, we all know it. Like, if you went Kobe in the Shaq Kobe breakup, then like you're wrong, man. You're just wrong. Anyway, but also my Phoenix Suns of the same era were denied a championship due to a cold-hearted Kobe dagger of a buzzer beater. So there's no fucking way you're going to catch me being like, oh, Kobe, he's so great. We miss him. Oh, my God. You know, because I didn't like him as a player. I cheered for a team that directly competed against them, you know, against his teams. And so, like, and had to watch my team be denied championship after championship due to Kobe, like, dropping cold, fucking ice cold threes at the buzzer, for fuck's sake. And then watching fucking, you know, the Spurs cheap shotting my beloved Suns and fucking, you know, ref betting on the game and shit like is bullshit. So the Suns during that time, what do they win? Fucking nothing, you know? So I'm supposed to be all like, oh, but Kobe is a hell of a player, man. You know, like, come on. Like, I don't go out of my way to be like, fuck Kobe, he sucks. You know, like, I understand the man is dead and whatnot. And so I don't, like, go find people in Kobe jerseys and be like, you know, your boy sucks, right? You know, I'm not that asshole, but I will tell you, like, just being honest, like, I wasn't sad when he died. I think it's fucking worse to be all disingenuous where you didn't fucking care about Kobe, and then when he dies, you'd be like, oh, man, Kobe, we lost one of the great ones, man. You know, like, fuck you. If you weren't a fan of his to begin with, then it's disingenuous to pretend otherwise. And if you didn't like him, you know, for any one of a number of reasons, if you thought he raped that girl in Denver, if you thought that he was a selfish teammate, if you thought a lot of fucking things you could think that you could be like, well, I don't like Kobe, and they're perfectly fucking reasonable, you know, and they don't go away just because the guy died. You know, you just choose not to be an asshole and constantly bring it up and be in people's faces, be like, your guy sucks. But, like, you absolutely do stand by on the sidelines. And when you see people who are, like, fakey fake, who, like, could have, like, kids, for example, who never saw him play, and they'd be like, yeah, Kobe, one of the great ones, man, we lost him. And you're like, you don't even fucking know who that is. Like, because there were people who were like, Kobe died. Truly, we have lost a great rapper. And it's like, no, he's a basketball player, you dumb fuck. Anyway, regardless. Marianne Evans wrote under the moniker George Eliot almost 200 years after Afra Ben became the first woman to publish under her own name in the English language. The Victorian era was such a cultural backslide in so many ways. It literally took women's rights back 200 years. Like, for real, man. Afra Ben wasn't just writing under her own name. She wrote, like, these lewd sex comedies. You know, her most famous one, oh, fuck's sake. I've read it. God damn it, I can't think of the title. Anyway, there's like 7 rapes in that play because she's trying to keep up with the sex comics or the fucking sex plays that the men were writing at the time. And some say that she went overboard with the rapes because she was trying to keep up with the men. And others think that she was pulling off some like satirical social commentary inside the story, which would be awesome, and I wish that was the case, but I have never seen any evidence to suggest that, other than that we wish that that were the case because feminists want to be able to be like, Afra she's a real icon, because you need them feminist icons, But like, yeah, George Eliot, Marianne Evans, holy shit. She wrote some fucking books. Adam Bede, my God, that's a great fucking book. And Middlemarch, everybody's crazy about. Adam Bede, like, the characters are so realistic and everything is so goddamn well written. It's amazing. Like, she really takes you there and puts you in the place and time. And it's like, this is what's happening and this is where we are. And it doesn't matter where you as a person are living. When you pick this book up, you are going to be transported to the time and place in which this story takes place. Like, it's so precise and well done and fucking amazing. And she had to publish it as if she were a dude because it was unseemly for a young woman to publish under her own name that way. To publish that kind of a book under her own name, especially. And so, it's just bullshit, man. And, thanks, Victorian era. You just took women's rights and you were like, nah, I don't know about that shit. But under Charles II, he was like, let's fuck around and see what happens. Which is also one of the reasons why people are like, yeah, maybe Charles II wasn't that great of a king. George II, also not amazing. Anyway, hey, say something in a hoity-toity British accent. Oh, yes, of course. Say, odds bodkins, my dear. I say, I'd be fucked up the arse by a Tory and a lorry before I let my daughter marry a DJ. Yes, odds bodkins. It's a fun thing to fucking say. Hey, high thought number 8. If everyone in America suddenly stopped buying things that we didn't absolutely need for 1 year, our entire fucking economy would crash. Our entire system is built not on the assumption that we need a cell phone in order to compete in a digital world, but that we have to have the most recent cell phone in order to be as cool as possible for as long as possible. If we didn't tether ourselves to such ridiculously narrow-minded ideas, we would be a lot happier. But we would also buy less, and as a result, we'd all probably lose our jobs. So even though living in a tiny house and minimalistic lifestyle seems like a good idea, it actually further serves to cripple our already crumbling system. Yeah, you ever think about that? Anyway, hey, this thought is definitely not bring you by smart good man Vladimir Putin, who is simply denazifying the Ukraine for make the world safe and happy. This thought is bring you by sincere Amerikansky who think transferring real money for computer picture of gorilla, which can be exchanged for electronic money of cartoon dog, which may not be as worth tomorrow when need pay rent, is good idea for making glorious American economy. See, it's perfectly fucking safe, everybody. Calm your titties. Anyway, high thought number 9. P to the motherfucking H when you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Peanut butter and honey. Yeah, sure. Peanut butter and jam is fine. It's fine. It's not the best, but it'll do. But P, the B, and the H. See, the problem is, if you try and take it on the road, the honey crystallizes inside the bread. And that's kind of nasty, and it makes the bread feel like it's fucking, all stale and shit. So, like, it's better to have it fresh at home. It is strictly an at-home sandwich. but it's fucking bomb diggity, my man. Yeah, that sounded like for real. That's my for real feelings on PB&H's. It's fucking bomb diggity, my man. Say it with all the feelings. Anyway, hey, I'm not one of those guys who feel like he has to go all the way to 10 on a list. Oh, fuck. I could leave it at number 9. I could leave it at 9 all day. How long can I keep up this pretense of me not knowing that this is actually number 10? Because I know. This is the things. The fuck? I just closed a few tabs and now I see that I wrote this is a things. Anyway, I think I need to close this out. Yeah, this nothing else. Seriously, this be done. High thought number 11. I'm the Kid Cudi of not coming up with very apt comparisons in my metaphors. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this one. It's actually reasonably not the fucking longest thing you've ever seen in your life, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna be in bed before the clock strikes super ridiculous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.